terrible. It's terrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible. Traffic outside coming to Xavier was, I guess it's several different things. First, they got all that construction happening, so you can't go your usual way. So you got to go all the way around, and then everybody's coming out. Plus, everybody's back in school, and then the other thing too is you got all that rain happening too. So
For a split second, I got worried a little bit.
for me,
Yeah,
about me,
about you.
you weren't worried. I saw you looking out the window though. I thought you were about to have your jam session up in there. That's what I thought it was though. But no, I should have called, but I was like, I'll be there in a minute, and that minute ended up being 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, good Lord.
I just know that's not like you. You know. See, I care about you a little bit.
I'm touched. Hold on a minute. That's my Baba here. Mm-hmm. You want me to cry? Want me to cry?
Nah.
I will. You want me to?
We good. You got to get to work, bro.
You ain't get the tear?
Nah, it's all.
Okay.
Nah.
All right. A lot of stuff to talk about. For all of you that have been worried about the I-10 ramp going over to the overpass headed back to going toward Lakeview and I-10 West, evidently they fixed it faster than what was scheduled. So it's open. Yay. I have to go that way every day. So I'm glad to hear that it's open. I'll be one of those that's happy to hear that it is open again. Ooh. Other thing we got to talk about, I think we had a great conversation on yesterday. You know what? Yesterday was probably one of the only days that I go back and listen to my shows. Yesterday was probably the first time that I did it this year. I don't like listening to myself. Does that you hear a lot of folks say that? I just don't like listening to myself. So yesterday I wanted to hear a couple of things that were said, and not the fact that I was going back and say, "Oh, that's wrong, that's wrong," but I wanted to go back to hear the conversation just to see where some of you were in your, I guess, push to get the conversation going. And I appreciate everybody that was a part of the conversation on yesterday. But I want to talk to you all about this. And usually when I think that a topic is not going to be a big topic, it ends up being a conversation where I really don't even have to talk. Y'all call in and deliver the messages. Y'all call in and deliver it, and I'm listening to you all and not talking that much because I want to hear your opinions. But I said I was going to do this topic because I didn't hear the pushback about it. But I really want to, it's maybe two topics in one, but I'm going to take it and divide it up. One of the topics is, do you all understand that the state of Louisiana is actually providing National Guard troops to the District of Columbia? 135 men and women that are our National Guard are in D.C. and supposed to be letting D.C. have those men and women because we volunteered them, well, your governor volunteered them, and proud of it, to give them help with 135 of our National Guardsmen to help secure, I guess, the crime in D.C. 504-582-9422. I really want to hear how you all are feeling about that. We are sending, or have sent, 135 of our National Guard troops to D.C.
WBOK.
You're on. Your mic's on. Oh. And I'm trying to feel that out. on how you all feel about that when I thought that we were trying to get our situation to be the lowest of all time. And did anybody in the state of Louisiana say, let me help you out? Governor, can you send some National Guardsmen our way? What are we sending them to D.C. for? When our crime situation is not the best. And then did they request it? Come on, y'all. 504-582-9422. What you say, T-Bone?
Hey, man, I'm sorry to call so early, but I figured I'd get it out the way since I'm going to be in traffic and trying to pick up some people.
You in traffic too?
Well, people act like they can't drive when some water hit the ground,
Yeah.
So if you don't know this scene, I invite you to go ahead on and YouTube it. Ask Mr. Wendell the next time he passes through the station. Anybody ever seen the show The Wire?
Yeah.
And on The Wire, they showed you, and this is what I told Brother Bunk when I saw him in person. He laughed at me when I called him Bunk, but he was one of the favorite characters off the show. And I told him, people rave about Law and Order, but The Wire was the real, because it didn't just show the side of the cops, and it didn't just show the lawyers involved. It went all the way down to City Hall, showed the police chief or superintendent, they showed the different captains, the different districts. They showed the whole gambit, really. The only thing they didn't touch was the actual state legislature and how they deal with crime. You understand? So there's a scene up in there. Well, there's an episode where the police chief wants to show force. So he gets a tip on one crack house. And he goes on ahead and he said, we're going to show them who we are. And so he does this SWAT roll. And they finally get some dope, some guns, and make about 5 or 10 arrests. And before they actually get that, he tells them, I want to see some dope on the table for the news conference. And all of the cops is like, looking at him like, what's wrong with you? What you doing? I want some dope on the table. I'm not playing with y'all. So after they make the bus, they put the bags of crack and cocaine on the table, a couple of guns that they seized on the table for the news conference, and the media eating it up. Because it's a perfect story. Oh, they did this dramatic crime bust and this, that, the other. Now, here are the numbers. It's not no big old table. This is not like Scarface with the mountains of cocaine out the movie. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a few kilos on the table, crack and powder. You understand? A couple of 9mm. That's it. Now, we in New Orleans, bro. I'm going to be real with you. Anybody that have been out in these streets know that ain't ish. If you're talking about actually getting somebody. You understand? And all the policemen in the episode was shaking their head like dope on the table. It don't make sense. This is a dope on the table moment for the Trump MAGA movement, for Landry, who's trying to be so much into it, and for the different other governors that's backing him up. And anybody that backs him up, they get a feather in their hat, they get some brownie points or whatever the hell Trump calls it. And then if Trump happens to fire somebody from his cabinet, one of them can get denied. That's what they're doing. This is their way of indirectly, but directly, kissing up to Capitone Trump. And that's all it is. Did you know? Because they're National Guard, they technically cannot arrest somebody on a local level. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They can detain people for local law enforcement. Listen to what I'm saying, people. With those of you that voted for Trump and say, yeah, they need to clean up these streets, they're not cleaning up the streets. This is a show of force for the cameras. That's what it is. They're not going to stop that crack house from being reopened once the smoke settles. They're not going to stop that Nino Brown or that Avon Barksdale that's in your neighborhood that you don't like. They are not going to arrest Stringer Bell. Okay? And you know why I made all those references? Because that's freaking TV. That's not real life. Wake the hell up, people. He's trying to declare martial law in a city near you. And you know what's going to happen during martial law also? If he decides to deploy troops during voting time, how are you going to be able to vote if you're not allowed to leave your house? Think about this. I'm just saying. Am I wrong? G, please tell me I'm wrong, G. Please tell me I'm
there are
wrong,
other
dog.
ways to vote before you don't have to walk out. You can declare absentee voting, and of course, if they're not going to be able to do that without the move of Congress to get rid of that. So,
And he's trying to kill mail-in voting as well right now.
And
Did anybody realize that?
mail-in voting is not going to be? It's something that he didn't believe in, but it takes an act of Congress to move it. But I'm saying to you that they're doing everything else in their power, so I wouldn't throw that away either.
See, and that's the thing. Every time they say, "Oh, he's not going to do that," or "He can't do that," he finds a way around it because he uses his lawyers and all these other people that's going to bend a knee to him to find him a way. That's what he's been doing since he's been in office. See, before you had some safety valves. You had people who are career government people, career conservatives at his side in the White House, telling him, "Mr. President, you can't do that. That's improper." "Oh, Mr. President, no, we're not going to have a military-style parade. We don't need to do that." "Mr. President, no, we should not be bringing the National Guard out just to have a photo op. Mr. President, you shouldn't be going inside of a riot that, even though you might have incited it, it's dangerous for you to go out there, sir." He wants the chaos, people.
Cool.
Anybody in their right mind that can't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I mean,
I got you.
I don't know.
All right, T-Bone.
Well, I'm sorry. I took up all my time, but I had to make my point, though.
I got you. Thanks, bro.
All right, y'all.
All right. More people hanging on here, so I need to get to them. Pop Jones.
Hey, G-Man.
What's going on?
Oh, Lord. You got me going in circles.
You going in circles, too? I hear you there, friends of distinction. Mm-hmm.
Is this the same administration that denied the children food and medicine right here in Louisiana?
Right, cutting out
they're going to send troops. They're going to send
the $70 million for
the
kids. Yeah, you got the right one.
Am I dreaming or what?
No.
No, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No, well, think about something. You're talking about what? How much did it cost to send 135 troops to the National Guard? And no one has given us the time frame of how long they're going to have to send stay in Washington D.C. But yet we can't take care of the kids in the summertime.
Well, it looks like we living in a dictatorship. Don't look like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing what they want. In other words, you don't have no say so, no wants, no nothing. Just doing anything that they want to do, huh?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what it look like to me. But I tell you, I'm even looking at the city, G-Man, that you have a person, and I'm not a hater. I don't hate anyone. I'm a person of faith. But I'm going to follow up the great late John Lewis. If you see something, you say something.
Mm-hmm.
You have an individual, and you could claim to be a gorilla if you want. I don't have nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you claim that you want to be. But how can a person that have done nothing for black people, have never done nothing really for their own people, be leading in a race by 57 points? Where that come from?
Wait a minute. What now?
They're leading in a race for mayor. In other words, as a leading candidate for mayor,
Mm-hmm.
by 57 points. In other words, it almost appeared that the other people are not even in the race.
Wow. I ain't heard that one. Where you hear that from?
I read it on what's his name? Come on after you.
On this station?
Yeah, on that station, man. I don't listen to nothing
Lead by
else.
57 points?
She's bleeding by in the polls. Elena Moran is leading by 57 points, and I think OT is leading by 14 or 16 points, and somebody else is in the same category that he is. And I've been trying to figure that one out.
I ain't never heard that one. I'd like to see that poll. I have.
Well, you ain't never heard it. Well, I don't know about it. I don't know.
And it come on after me?
Man. I've heard it several times.
Well, that's probably some misinformation.
That she leads by 57 points.
Yeah, that's probably
misinformation. And the poll, okay. Ask you another question. Have you know that the poll was paid for by what's the young man name that has a contract or temporary contract of the garbage collection in the French Quarters? He's the one that's paying for that.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that either, huh?
Mm-mm. Sure didn't. Because the polls that I see that everybody is putting up
man.
and saying that that's legitimate is actually from a firm out of Metairie. So I said the firm that I see that everybody's trying to call legitimate is out of a firm out of Metairie, Fauché. Ron Fauché. That's the only one that I see that everybody's saying is legitimate. Now the rest of them, I don't know. And again, I have to go by the professionals that tell you don't go by polls. That's just a inkling of a number of folks that are trying to do polls. Now the question is, who are they? What's the race? What's the zip codes that you're looking at? But a lot of those folks say that those calls don't come to them.
But D-Man, a person leading by, this is ridiculous. A person leading by 57 points in a poll, to my knowledge, have never been to a toy giveaway, did nothing. And the last time I checked, we was majority black, huh?
have done nothing for the black people. Who did they poll to get this kind of information?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. So can't go by what you hear. And all I can tell folks is
Okay, wow.
stand up the day that you're supposed to vote, or go to early voting, and you make your own decision.
So in other words, this place is a shoe-in for mayor, huh?
That's what you say. I didn't say that. I ain't saying that.
No.
Nah, you ain't putting that on me.
You know, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer,
Well,
man.
you just got a little bit more dull, because you can't put nothing out there like that. You got to make sure that you go. If you don't want that
I'm just
person to win,
listening to what
y'all need to go to the polls.
what I hear going on. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. But
Well, stop being the dullest thing in the draw. Then, nah, can't say that.
yeah, I just be asking hard something. You can't go by what I'm asking. I just be seeing things. I'm just
Stop looking
going
at the
around
things.
in
Cover your eyes.
circles.
Cover your eyes. Now. All right, let me take these other calls. Folks holding on.
I know, like OT. I've been seeing OT. I had to thought. At one time, I wanted to ask OT. I said, "Man, where you live at?" Every time I look up, I used to see OT around at this function, at this church, at this. And I ain't talking about just since he started running for mayor. Man, I've been seeing OT ever since he came off vacation. And even before that, OT would be all over the city, out the city, and everywhere.
Well, I see him everywhere now. I see him still out there. So
yeah,
he's still out there. But look, I gotta take these
Man,
other calls.
OT.
Everybody holding on, Pop. I gotta take these other calls.
All right, all right.
Don't call me OT. He about to call me
Gee,
OT.
man,
Ain't that something?
thank you for taking my call,
Yes,
brother.
sir. I'll talk to you later. All
All right, have a blessed one.
Let's take the break here. We'll take the break. We'll come back. Kevin, Galloway, everybody hold tight. We got to take a break here. We'll come back. Have some more conversation with you in just a minute. Don't go nowhere. There's more coming up.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks
and Kimber White Dupree
from the front porch.
Some combos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month by the community scientists at Rise St. James. This month we spotlight phthalates, chemicals added to plastics, especially PVC, to make them more flexible and durable. But there's more. Research shows phthalates may disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and contribute to environmental pollution impacting our communities. Join us as we explore how these additives shape our everyday lives and the world around us. For more details, visit risestjames.org. Empower your knowledge with Rise.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina.
Tell me what would happen if today was the last time you heard that drum beat or that trumpet blow. For those who struggle to get out and those who still struggle to get back, you are welcome to this place called home. If you remember, come home.
Share your story. Support the work. August 24th through 31st. A series of cultural, educational, and healing events. Visit katrina20.org to learn more.
I'm Wendell Pierce. Thanks for making WBOK your station. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Our number 504-582-9422. Galloway.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you?
Oh man, you was talking about polling, correct?
Uh-huh.
Now, that poll that the gentleman was talking about, sir, that poll was conducted by Sidney Torres, a group that he owns. It was only 600 people that was polled. It was it came on Fox 8. It was like a month ago. And any political scientist or consultant will tell you a poll with less than 1,000 people really is not a poll. You see what I'm saying? I've done independent polling, and I know how to go find a person or a group of people that fits my narrative. And if you look, you can break a poll down by race and age, voters versus non-voters. So nobody can tell me about that poll, because I called and asked, and I said, well, who did you interview? Did you only go to the Garden District, parts of the 6th Ward and the 7th Ward? Or did you go to the east? Or did you go to Algiers? Did you go uptown, downtown? And, of course, they hung up the phone. So I wouldn't put too much faith in the poll, but what I would put faith in, that it's a cover-up of when that woman hit that person back in 2002. Look at that police report and see how it's questionable. There's no way you could T-bone somebody only going 10 miles over, and that person had ran through a red light and caused that much damage. I think it was a cover-up. I can't prove it, because investigators can write a police report how they want to write it. And if you ain't careful, they will have you believing you dead in your grave and you caused your own death. Dead people can't talk. Nobody's really pushed her on that issue. And the call was right. That woman don't go to anything. When I was at home and I seen her at Super Sunday, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Lady, you've been living in New Orleans since 2000 or something. This your first Super Sunday? Don't do that to us people, man. You know, so just be careful. But folks, you better, you know, our voting block, black people, our voting block is the black church. We can talk all this that we want to talk about the churches, but those church members vote. They vote in all elections.
Well, you know
So
what I
all
hear
of
a lot of church members tell me? I mean, they may mention it, but I usually go. I can tell you this: I'm more than likely, if I'm in New Orleans, I'm more than likely in somebody's pew every Sunday. But I usually not only go to my own, but I'm also going to other churches with the sheriff, and it ain't just because she's running for office. She's a very Christian lady, and she likes to go to church. So
yes,
we go to somebody's church every Sunday, and been doing so for the past. I've been with her now for over 2 years, and I can tell you for the last 2 years, every Sunday we in somebody's church.
yes, that's our voting block.
But what I hear, and this is what I hear from a lot of those folks at those different churches, don't come to us just because you're running for office.
Yes.
Because that's
that
what
is
a lot
correct.
of them do. Go to the church, say hello, and then after they get a chance to speak or get recognized, they don't even stay for the service. They leave.
And don't come back after the election.
Nope.
And I definitely, I'm not disagreeing at all, but my point is the strongest voting block of black people is within the church.
Yep.
Our 18 to 45-year-olds only vote about 20% in elections. Less than that in probably the mayor election. Look at the last numbers for the last mayoral election.
That
was horrible.
is going to be more so 25-54 or a little bit higher. Your voters that are going to go vote, rain, shine, sleet, or whatever, are usually the older. I say our elders, because they're going to vote. They understand the importance of it.
And that's the problem that we have. We have more young people creating, and which I'm not hating on them. They create content, but when it comes time to vote, I've yet to see one of the content creators say, we're going to have a voting drive. We're going to check to see your voting registration. If I can have 10,000 people on my live, some of them have more than that. How can I not sit there and explain to them, especially being from New Orleans, the most important, one of the most important people to ever come to New Orleans was Martin Luther King, where he was voted the president of the SCLC, and he ate right there at Leah Chase, at Dookie Chase. They planned meetings for the civil rights struggle,
right?
The right to vote. So that's where I try to connect with the young people. and try to explain to them, look, you have the power. If you can take that 10,000 you have on there on your show, make sure they vote registrations up the part, and make sure they go vote. You can change this city ward by ward, or mayoral, tax assessor, whatever position, sheriff, whatever you're looking for. But just to get on there and complain,
right.
I'm trying to offer you a solution to your problem.
So you think
I'm telling you,
you think I ought to like call the power, because you know what, I'm so much into the politics of elections. I get blamed a lot because of my connection to political organizations and maybe even some of the candidates. But one of the things I was thinking about, Galloway, was asking the Power Coalition, because I saw them this past Sunday, and I was going to ask if they would come over here one day when I'm on the air, just sit at the table, and I was going to invite people to stop by the radio station and get registered to vote. That's the first thing I was going to do. The second thing that I wanted to do was men's health, because I'm noticing that there are a lot of folks that are my age and younger that are dying unexpectedly because they ain't taking care of themselves. High blood pressure.
Won't go to the doctor.
Diabetes, won't go to the doctor. So I got an organization that wants to come here and especially men, but anybody. If you have not had your blood pressure checked, they'll check it for you right there on the spot.
Yes. That is a wonderful idea. This is the type of stuff that I tell people about the city of Orleans that we can actually do. Mm-hmm. And if you need volunteer, I can help volunteer. Like I say, I travel between Austin and Orleans Parish all the time, so it's no big deal. Mm-hmm. Trust me. I mean, I'm retired. I've done 20 years in the military. I go to the VA once every 6 months. I get my colonoscopy checked once every 3 years. Mm-hmm. And that's just a start. And I trust me, after 20 years and all mine was done in the combat MOS, my bones started to ache a little bit all the time. And I take care of my medication. I try to do exercise. But you're so correct. I don't know what people are scared to go to the doctor for.
Man,
I really don't.
We don't like to go to the doctor. I mean, that's just us. We do not. Any doctor, any woman will tell you the same thing. There's plenty of women that'll tell you that I had to force my husband just to go to the doctor to get himself checked out.
I can't do it. I want to give me at least 20 more years here on this earth. My goodness, I ain't trying to leave here this quick, man.
Yep.
But this about us not going to the doctor is so true when it comes to men's health. And like yourself, I'm part of a lot of organizations, the Urban League, NAACP, NAAC Legal Defense Fund, the Black Press. That is another thing. Y'all are a black-owned radio station. The black newspapers in New Orleans, I need them to get more vocal. Please get more vocal about the issues in New Orleans. Because when they do write, it's so beautiful, the stuff they write. And I'm like, can you see this? And I always send it to people, like, look what they just put out.
Now, I know that Beverly McKenna and the Tribune, they're always into it. And I know that my family over at Louisiana Weekly, they too are getting, just as vocal. But I will say this, and this is on behalf of them. This might sound a little cheeky, but we don't support them.
You're right. You're 100% right. I cannot disagree with you. Trust me.
Louisiana Weekly should have the largest footprint of papers out here or digital media than anybody, including the Times-Picayune.
I always find a paper every month, and all they do is ask for a donation, $5, $10, $15. I spend $5, $10, $15 on a 6-pack or a 12-pack.
Right.
Why not give it to them?
Yep.
And it's not going to hurt me. I can understand if they was asking for thousands of dollars. They just give it $5, $15, whatever you can give. But you're so correct. We do not support our own newspapers. And I'm so shocked because as a kid growing up, that's what I used to read, the Picayune.
The circulation should be hundreds of thousands of people. And it surprised me to hear that the circulation might be 20,000. Might be.
Yes, you're right. Might be. I follow both of them on Instagram, and they're part of the NNPA, the National News Publishers Association, which is the Black Press. Yep. I follow them there. I get the emails sent to me. That's how I keep up with Like when I really want to know something about New Orleans, I go to the black press, I go to black radio, because y'all are not afraid to tell it like it is.
Well,
No matter if it hurts your feelings or not.
with this election
That's why I rock with the black press, because all these other folks are just taking something off the Associated Press and just re-putting it out there. Where y'all are boots on the ground and y'all doing the real work. And I try to get my people to understand. I'm like, look, ain't nobody going to come save us. You might want to look around at somebody that look like you and ask them for help or give them help.
Yep.
That is one of our biggest problems. We have such a crazy attitude. We will drag for our own people, but we'll give somebody like Helen Moreno all kind of passes. Think about that. And I thank you for taking my call, so I ain't going to hold you up too much longer. I know you got other people calling. Yeah. But thank you, sir, so much.
Everybody holding on, but I appreciate it, man. Good conversation. Thank you, Galloway.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. Miss Bonita.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good.
What you got?
Listen, that lady name is Helena. Hell. That's what I call her.
I'm sorry. What did you say now? What you talking about?
I said I call her Hell as hell. That's what she is.
Your phone is breaking up.
She said Helena. Helena.
Say again, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Let me get it off the speaker. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I call her Helena. Hell.
Oh, you talking about
that's
Helena.
all she is. Helena.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, listen, because that's all she is. She's a little conniving snake in the grass, a little snake, trying to manipulate the black people into voting for her with all these false polls that's going out. And I know they're not real because, I mean, if you only go in certain communities and get your poll, that's not real. You got other people across the city that lives in the city, and you're not polling them. So I wish Pop Jones don't believe everything he hear, because that ain't true. You know, he listening at these people, but I hope he just don't listen and keep on, keep his mind was ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Because it's just crazy. But let me tell you something. I'm going to get off the subject a little bit. But my daughter was into an accident a couple of days ago when somebody pitched something into her window as she was driving from off the West Bank and shattered her windows on the interstate coming from off the West Bank. So I'm just saying it's starting that kind of foolishness again. So just beware. Have your people to beware with the stupidness on that bridge again.
Oh, okay. All right. Get it. Warning everybody then. All right, Miss Bonita.
So I'll holler at you tomorrow.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you here.
All right.
All right. All right. News is next, y'all. We got to take a break.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is set to be arraigned September 10th on federal wire fraud and obstruction charges. Former Security Chief Jeffrey Vappy will also face arraignment with court records citing their secret affair as the basis of the case. Art made from rapper Snoop Dogg's leftover blunts is selling out for up to $70,000. Artist Erica Kovic's Ashes to Art collection, created with Snoop's used wraps, debuted August 15th and quickly sold all 7 pieces. And Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore is inviting President Trump to Baltimore after sharp remarks during the Pimlico racecourse demolition. Moore challenged Trump in his speech, saying if he won't walk the city streets or stand with its people, he should, quote, keep our name out of your mouth, end quote. He later sent a letter asking Trump to join a public safety walk in September, with Black Mayor Brandon Scott and other leaders noting violent crime and homicides are down statewide. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
say it one more time.
Do it.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
He said something else.
Yeah, he had one more word in there that I couldn't put in there.
Say that.
Okay. All right. Take this phone call before I do say it. Kevin.
Hey, can y'all hear me all right?
Hear you now.
Okay, look, and I said it's a broken record, really. Look, we keep talking. As long as we talking about what other people doing, we not doing what we supposed to do. Okay. Now, I'm not saying don't look at the competition, but what I'm saying is you don't give them most of your time and none for your own offense. Okay. Look, DeSantis is doing the same thing over and over and expecting something different to happen. If we don't start thinking at a more elevated level, we're going to always be subject to people who do. Okay? Look, and we keep talking about what I'm going to say white folks. But really, when you think about it, Montreal became mayor in the 70s, okay? And then we started electing a whole lot of black officials. Look, read the tea leaves. We having this conversation today. So black folks haven't done us no real good service, quite frankly, because if we don't engage the citizens, because it's going to take the citizens to uplift the quality of life of the citizens. Clearly, if we having this conversation today, the black leadership is not uplifting the quality of life of the collective citizens. They're uplifting the lives of them and their crony friends. Okay? So look, we have to, and I say we, I'm talking about people who are intelligent enough to know they want instant gratification. And the best way you can get instant gratification is take action on your own in whatever way you want to. I'm not even telling you what to do, but you got to be what you want to see and make a difference in small, wherever you can make it at right now and you can't do it by yourself. Start doing it with whoever will get with you and have the same mindset and start making a difference. And let the other people who see you make a difference, let them help them to engage, teach them how to engage based on what y'all have done to engage. Look, you can show them better than you can tell them. Quit waiting for people, black or white, because the evidence is such where we're having this conversation today, which means they didn't do a good job at engaging the people, to have the people participate, get engaged with systemically creating institutions and organizations that's improving the quality of life of black people. And I say black people, but really anybody who's not sociopathically insane. You know what I'm gonna say it. Because if you hurting, you're only as strong as your weakest link. As in the military, on the sports team, in any organization. And if you're not helping the citizens to get involved with creating the culture, we like to talk about culture all the time, like it's just shaking your butt. If we're not creating the citizenry that's going to create the business culture, the political culture that's going to be uplifting everybody in the city, if it's not uplifting everybody in the city, that's a kink in our armor. The only way we're going to do well is we participate. Forget about the politicians. Now, I'm not saying forget about them, but engage them as well. But if they don't engage, run your own politicians out your small group. And it don't matter if 100 of us run. If none of us get elected, it's going to be a result of us not incorporating, getting involved with everybody else, trying to improve the quality of their lives as well. All right. Period. Quit talking about other people and start talking about what we're going to do. And I say we, you and your friend and your family or whoever else is going to live at a more elevated thinking level to actually be what they want to see and focus on whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is. And then multiply that with the next thing you want to do and the next thing you want to do. Once you learn how to use systems, to create systems and apply that work ethic to one problem, you can just translate it to the next problem and the next problem as well. And look at somebody who's doing it already. We like to talk about what they're doing. Look at what they're doing and you repeat it. Period.
All right.
And it's that simple.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. 504-582-9422. Jacqueline is funny. So let's add to what Kevin just said. Because one of the things that I'm finding out with elections, and this is my comparison, y'all. One of the things I found out with elections is there could be some reasons why and that is this, okay, so I'm trying to put this in order. So let me put it in order. So one of the things I found out about elections is that we've had low voter turnout. And why I'm trying to put this in order is, y'all remember during the amendments? The amendments was what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago? And everybody was all excited because they said the black people stood up and we were like, oh no, we won't go on for those amendments and blah, 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 blah. But y'all do understand something. That voter turnout for those amendments was still at 30%. Now, don't get me wrong. That is better than the regular elections. But to me, that's still low voter turnout. We can be proud all we want to. But you proud of low voter turnout? Because we had 30% instead of 9 to 10%. Well, Gerod, that was better. Absolutely, you are correct. But it's still classified as low voter turnout. And if you don't consider that, kiss my grits, because that's what it is. It's low voter turnout. So.
Kiss your grits?
Yeah, I said it.
That's country.
I know. I'm from the country.
I know.
All right. So low voter turnout to me is 30%. Low voter turnout to you is what? 9, 10%? That's not low voter turnout. That's Negro, I ain't gonna vote turnout. Because it ain't important. That's what that is. Classified for what it is. If you don't consider 30% turnout for a statewide election on something that could change the entire way that you live, 30%. Kiss my grits. All of them, by grain, by grain. But I'm trying to tell you that if you ain't 50% or more, at least half the people should be out here voting. At least half. That's still low voter turnout. Because we living in a time right now that you seeing redistricting that's going on. Look at Texas. You don't think you next? We seeing ICE go into your schools. You don't think that's going to come here? We seeing your kids not getting the meals that they need. You don't think that's happening here? It happened this summer. He turned down $73 million so your kids couldn't eat. So one of the things that's missing, now I might sound like I'm chastising everybody, but I'm not really. But one of the things that I have seen that is missing in this election, and I don't know why we haven't sat back and said, you know what, that's right. What is one of the biggest elements that's missing? I'm going to ask you before I answer it. What's one of the biggest elements of an election that's missing? Come on. 504-582-9422. And I'm mostly talking about the African American community. What's one of the biggest elements? And it may be more than one answer. So come on. They already got Joe Ken on here calling me country because I kept saying kiss my grits. But what's one of the elements? Hello? Are you waiting for somebody else to answer that question? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Y'all think about it. And I can tell you this much. It also taught me about Katrina. Now, I could sit here till the phone ring, because I know y'all thinking, but I'll sit here till the phone ring with dead air, because I'm stupid like that. Come on. Ain't no wrong answers until I tell you, yeah, you're wrong. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that to you. Yes, I will. What is it? One of the main elements that's missing in the African American community when it comes down to voting. What's missing?
I'm going to help you out. Is it being relatable to the younger folks?
Being relatable to what?
To the younger folks. I'm just throwing it out there. No? All right.
I do think that, and I said I wasn't going to say anybody wrong because, I mean, that's the idea. I mean, being relatable to the younger folks. I think there should be some classes that they sit down with younger folks and tell them, hey, this is why. Maybe you need to do some history classes to show them why. Maybe you should show, or somebody should show them that this is one of the main reasons why we do vote, and tell them why. And how these things can happen now. So there is a main piece, though, that is missing when it comes to voting. And I learned this through Katrina. That should give you the answer right there. That should give anybody the answer right there. Let me take Alvin. Alvin!
Well, the GWBOK family, I'm going to go with strategy, purpose, and a goal.
Wait a minute, what?
A goal. Strategy with a purpose to obtain a goal.
No, I mean, no, that's not what I'm thinking, but explain yours, please.
All right. So after Katrina, once they said what they were going to do, the strategy was to make sure that they not turn our communities into green spaces, and the strategy was to keep us out the city. And the camaraderie was to make sure we came together for at least this time to speak as one. And then the goal was, in the end, we got back to the city. So what's missing in this election is where are we going forward in the city as the goal, as a community, as a collective, and the strategy is who do we associate and assimilate with and get the understanding that just because, and I always go back with just because I'm running with you and I didn't win, how about and I know this is later, but how about if some of the people that you ran with, if y'all kind of agreed on some things, why not they not part of your administration or part of something or your collaborative to move the city forward if that's all what we have the goal to do, if I'm making any sense?
No, you're not making a doggone bit of sense. You went far, Alvin. You went far. You went from the rooter to the tutor in that one. No, it's really simple. It really is simple. So you had to think about that. Now, brother, I appreciate the thought that you put in that one because you went deep. You went real deep. Hey. I'm going to give you the Student of the Month award today just because you thought about that one. I'm glad I could put that on your mind and think about it.
I'm just saying, though, geez.
But this one is really, is actually real simple. I'm thinking more simple than anything. It's just a simple answer.
A message.
Huh?
A message.
Oh. Nope. I'm gonna tell you in a
All right.
minute. I'm gonna tell you in a minute.
All right.
Let me get these other folks on the line. Let them think about it.
All right now.
All right. Miss Marie. Miss Marie.
Yes. Hi. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Transportation.
There you go. Boom. Bingo. Bingo.
All right.
Ding ding.
Thank you. Do I get a prize? Give me a bell.
That one.
Thank you.
That
Thank
one
you.
word. It's one word.
Yeah.
And now let me tell you why I said that. Back in the day, and you're gonna agree with me, when everybody needed to go vote, what did they do? They had the churches, they had the civic organizations,
Right.
they had all these different organizations that was telling you every week, hey, we're gonna have this bus, or we're gonna have this van from this church, we're gonna have them rolling, taking you to the polls.
Right. Exactly
When
right.
Katrina
You don't see it happening no more.
And when Katrina happened, most of the people stayed here because they couldn't afford hotels and they didn't have no transportation.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Okay.
what we need is to have an alliance of people that got vans or people that got buses or whatever, not just RTA. I'm talking about all these churches that got a big old church van, and tell them or find out how much it's going to cost to run that van. And we need them to find out how many different blocks or what area of the city that they can run a van and take the people that need to go vote, which is everybody, to go vote.
And get somebody to commit to drive that van.
Commit to it. Now, I know it's something to do with
My
insurance
church
that they'll
van
tell
was
me
left
about.
in the parking lot.
But they'll
Well,
tell me that
it's
insurance is
destroyed.
something else. But guess what? You go with that van
You
any
want to
other
save
day.
lives. You try to save lives. That's more important.
Yeah, but
Can't think about insurance when it comes to that.
and they go pick up people every day or every Sunday to come to your
It's
church.
Sunday. That's right.
So you can't tell me that you can't go pick up other folks to go to the polls.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it up in my church.
There you go.
Since you put it on my mind like that.
You put it on
Everybody
my
else
mind
do
because you
that.
got it right off the bat.
All right.
Transportation.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Marie.
All right.
All righty.
Okay.
Bingo. Miss Marie got the thing. Hold on. Let me give it a bell one more time. And you just won the grand prize of... What can we give Miss Marie?
That's on you. You the host.
I don't have nothing. I'm broke. You got something? You got some money?
No.
You don't have no money? I don't believe you, bro. Why you be digging in your pockets?
I ain't got nothing.
But that's the truth. That's what it is. You got to take your break. All right, George, hold on. He got to take his break. We're going to come back. We'll have some more conversation in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. Bank of America's Financial Literacy Challenge wants to give high schoolers real-life experience managing money without suffering real-life consequences. It's a special game that teaches students how to save, budget, build credit, and handle curveballs like flat tires and unexpected expenses. Shayna Stevens is a strategy and program manager for community banking at Bank of America, and she's seen the program work wonders for young people. And while Bank of America is doing its part, she says the public sector can do more.
What we've seen with being able to implement the game across the country, it works best in states where financial education is a requirement. And I think the more that we can change and ensure that financial education somehow is taught in schools, it really builds stronger community.
Pew Research findings show nearly 70% of Black adults say being debt-free is a big part of their idea of financial success. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Fresh produce, local flavor, and a healthy you. New Orleans East Hospital is hosting a farmers market the last Wednesday of every month from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Join us in the parking lot across from the main entrance. Support local farmers and your wellness. We'll see you there.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Don't forget, coming up in about 35 minutes, we'll have a conversation with Arnie Felco and, of course, Carrie. Both of them will be in the building for Arnie and Carrie. They'll be here for 6 o'clock. What's going on, George?
Man, my thunder, she stole my thunder, bro.
Boom. It's a little bit more thunder out there. Look like it's going to rain.
No, I mean your last caller, bro.
She stole your thunder?
She stole my, I was like waiting to answer the question, bro.
Well, you can still answer the question.
Well, I'm going to get a new answer now. Where's the Democratic Party? Why ain't they advertising this election? Why ain't they telling people it's important to vote? Organization.
I do think that the Democratic Party is not just having a problem in Louisiana. I think the Democratic Party is broken because you have a short time to get ready for midterm elections. One of the things that I think that you got to do is to get your Democratic observance together. That means you've got Democratic parties in all 63 parishes. So OPDEC is just not one of the Orleans Parish. Orleans Parish. We hear more about Orleans Parish than the Democratic Party in other parishes. So this is the time, as the president, which I know we got a new one, this is the time where you need to coordinate these 63 parishes to get the Democratic Party on one accord so that all of them will be on the same mission at the same time. And that is, you've got more Democrats in the state of Louisiana than you do Republicans. We got over 1 million Democrats, and we got just about 1 million or 900,000 Republicans. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you get those that are Democrat involved? Or how do you have those that are Democratic or Democrat by name only to also be in the hunt when it comes down to Democratic posture, Democratic issues, and how do you get them to be a part? If you're going to say you're a Democrat, prove it, and not just be a Democrat by name.
Yeah, and that's why we need a Democratic Party to be invested. And you know, I remember the craziest thing, bro. As I was dropping this young girl off for work the day after the governor's race, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, I thought I lost you. And the day after the governor's race, and you know that young lady was being responsible, going to her job, bro, making sure she met her obligation, and she didn't even know there was an election. That's the party part of the Democratic Party I'm talking about. Not all of the 64 parishes. I'm talking about they don't even make an effort, bro. We don't have all of those organizations we used to have. You know what I'm saying? That made certain that since they got rid of the teachers union, that made certain since they got rid of the waterfront boys, that made certain that we had when we had cohesive people out there. But these people these kids don't even know the vote.
What
It's not even. It's not a thing.
And them?
Huh?
I said, what do you mean, like the Bowls and the Souls and all of those folks?
Yeah, we don't have any of those organizations out there urging everybody to vote, not just young people.
Then create another
one. But I would, huh?
Then create another one.
It should be. I'm like, I hear you.
Just create another one.
I'm like, I
you
can
think
take
about
personal
something. Here's the comparison.
responsibility for that.
Wait a minute, Joe. Here's your comparison. All right. And this don't have to go through just about, I got to get the paperwork and all that done and yada, 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 yada. It really does not, because you can make up a name of a thing. It's been done before. What? Okay, here's another question for you, since you wanted to be a part of the conversation piece where you guessing the right one. What was the name of the organization that was very political but was not a political organization? What was the name of it?
Ooh, you got me stumped there, bro.
Think for a minute. At what time there was a
I
political organization?
I haven't lived home for over 30 years. I've been out of the whole political loop.
This might have been 10 years ago. But everybody was complaining because they were like, and it was more so the Republicans that was like, I'm not a Republican, I'm a, what was the name of the organization?
I'm telling you, you got my brain just blocked, bro.
If I ain't burn it out the last time and you pop a fuse, you ain't gonna pop a fuse this time. Just think about it. It was more Republicans at that time. What were they calling themselves?
You mean the Republicans calling themselves?
Yes. They were not calling themselves Republicans. They were calling themselves something else.
What, Blue Dog Democrats or something? I don't know.
Why would a Republican call itself a Democrat?
Well, the Blue Dogs don't mean they're Democrats.
No. Joe King already got it online for you. It was a Tea Party.
The Tea Party? Oh, man, get out of here. You did mess me up there.
Yeah, but the Tea Party ain't a real party. It's on the parties out there are, you got the Democrats, you got the Republicans, and you got the Independents.
And you got the GOP too, right?
GOP is the Republicans.
Yeah, right.
The grand old party.
Yeah. But the Tea Party was backed by the insurance industry.
Don't matter who was backed by. I'm telling you that the party didn't exist.
You're right. It didn't. It was nobody. They just got funded by the insurance industry. But they didn't exist. And you're right. There were no formal organizations, just a name. But they managed to capture, what they did capture was airtime.
Yeah.
They captured plenty
airtime. So why somebody that's a Democrat can't do the same thing? Why they can't do the People's Party? I'm part of the People's Party. And if somebody steals my idea,
Brother Aaron, are you listening? That's Brother Aaron Greathouse, ain't it?
Huh? The People's Party?
Ain't that Brother Aaron? The People's Party?
Something else. I'm leaving something out. But anyway, I'm just trying to find out why somebody can't do that. You don't have to go through all of this rigmarole to say that you're a part of something else. I can be a part of anybody's party. I can be a part of any organization. I
agree with you 100% on that note, bro. So we need to get out and just start calling ourselves. We got to figure out what would you say, the People's Party?
Yep. They had the Tea Party. The Tea Party was not an organization by law.
Right.
It was not. It still ain't. Somebody might still say it now, but it dissolved itself. And that,
But
now,
because it was MAGA.
you know how, what made the Tea Party dissolve? Tell me that.
MAGA.
Huh?
MAGA. MAGA.
MAGA.
The MAGA party.
There you go. Because it became
they got
Trump's
no real
party.
name either. They're just a hat.
But it is Trump's party.
Right.
Yep. You are correct.
And they just a hat. They don't have no real 501c3, which brings me to a sidebar conversation, too. I want to ask this to you, right? Because all of these churches are 501c3s and they have limited political outreach, is that one reason why they're not organizing the way they used to organize? Because they're all been 501c3s?
So there is such thing as 501c3s, which are just basic nonprofits. But there's also a piece, and I don't know how many churches have this attached to their 501c3. I don't think it's that many, that you could be a 501c3 for. So 501c3 for can also be involved in political activity.
In community activity? Yeah. That's kind of like.
Activity.
Yeah.
Now, as far as 501c3s, which is just basic nonprofits, they cannot. So that depends on what organizational papers a church would have.
Right.
Now, am I scared that somebody gonna say, "Oh Lord, I'm a 501c3 and I don't want to lose my funding"? Hey, everybody hollering and screaming about funding that's coming from the city. I think I'm gonna go back through history again here. Joe Ken says I'm giving a history lesson about politics in this city, so I'm gonna do that. What we saw during the Mitch Landrieu administration was the time that he started taking all the nonprofit money from a lot of different people and dividing it up and giving it to the churches and other nonprofits that he was giving money to was to shut you up and give you money. And when they give them $50,000 checks, or when they give them $70,000 checks, that wasn't just to give your organization money because you were doing such a good job. It was to keep you quiet.
Silent money, huh, bro?
So you saw all that money going to these different organizations, and then all
I
of a
remember
sudden
that.
their community input went away.
Buy it quiet.
See ya. We won't be.
Can buy it quiet, huh, bro?
Yep. It still happens that way.
I know it do, bro. I'm like, it's sad, man. It makes me want to cry.
For what?
Makes me want to go up on the levee and make a bonfire and cry.
It should make you cry. It should make you mad because there ain't just one person doing it. It's the people that accept it. You trying to shut me up, and I get the money back.
Ain't nobody getting no money back, bro.
They ain't giving the money back. They gonna keep that money.
We ain't getting no money back. I'm sorry, bro.
Nope.
I mean, you a man with epic tomorrows. You wouldn't have took the money from Jump Street, but ain't none of these people getting that money back, bro.
Not at all. I ain't heard nobody say they gave it back.
Ain't nobody. They gonna sit there and get in their pulpit and tell them poor people how much money they need to get a new air conditioning system. They got to buy money for the insurance for the buses that they ain't gonna be picking nobody up to go vote with. They ain't getting no money back, bro.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hey, bro, I got to tell this story because I got to go. If I ain't listening to WBOK all day long now, 107 and 12:30 a.m. on my radio computer next to at my neighbor house, in the car, wherever I can get it. If I ain't listening to Reality Check with Gerod G. Man Steven and Wickedy Wick on the backboard doing them sounds, if I ain't listening, I'm going to miss out on some black facts, and I'm going to miss out on the education I need to get. Love y'all.
All right. Bye, George.
Bye.
That was a long sentence, George.
Yeah, that's usual though. That's usual. Let me get back to this because I do want everybody to understand something. I'm not against nonprofit money coming to the church. I'm not against that. Because my church, anybody else's church, I see what they can do with that money. And it ain't necessarily I need to spend all that money at one time. I see what they can do with that money with feeding folks. I can see what money they can fix their own infrastructure, because there's some churches that need their own infrastructure fixed. I can see money that they're doing back to school giveaways. And I'm glad that a lot of these churches are doing stuff like that, because not too many other places are, unless it's a governmental issue. You know what did piss me off during the administration? That when these churches that have kitchens would have these folks, these sisters, these brothers that would get together on the weekend. I'm not mad at them at all. They would get together on the weekend and go in those kitchens, and they would fix food for the homeless, and then go load up their SUVs with those plates, with them little styrofoam containers, and take them out and give them to the homeless folks on the street. That's not what made me mad. What made me mad was that we tried to come up with an ordinance that said you can't feed the homeless people because they were creating trash on the streets. Like, they were creating trash. Yeah, them styrofoam plates and stuff end up being all over the streets after y'all feeding the folks. So when did New Orleans become spick and span clean? Y'all got them men walking around in the French Quarter with wheelbarrows and trash cans with rakes on them and working for one of them trash companies. We can't get no help feeding the homeless. Are we being inhumane by saying not to fix those folks a plate because they gonna throw the styrofoam plates in the street? We could pick it up for people that visiting here. We can pick them up for folks that want limited fresh smell and getting everyday service. Did y'all know that, though? I swear that got me, though. Every time I think about that one just gets to me, to think that the French Quarter gets everyday trash pickup. Every day, not 2 days a week, not once a week, but Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. They get clean trash cans every day, 7 days a week. While the majority of the folks that are living in New Orleans are trying to get back to 2 days a week. Boy, I'm going to just be quiet.
Just where we need that sound effect that says wah wah wah.
I need me cussing. I need a beep noise. These mother beep and so and so beep. Because that don't make sense to me. That don't make no sense whatsoever. And I would think that none of you would even accept that. I would think that you wouldn't accept it, but we just let it happen, let it roll. It's okay. Is that okay to you? That your tax dollars and the majority of it, just look on your sewage and water board bill. It's what? It went from $12 to $24 plus the taxes that you're paying for once a week pickup, and they get every day. Every day. I'm just saying. Hey, Mr. Harold. Mr. Harold?
Yes.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good yourself.
I'm just listening. So I just had to holler at you. Today is supposed to be the hottest day of the year here in Los Angeles. So I'm on the way to the beach.
You in that Speedo again?
No. See, when you mentioned Speedo, I had no idea. My wife had to explain to me what you were talking about.
You know what a Speedo?
So I had no idea. But I just, so much stuff was running through my mind. I just wanted to comment. Say that again?
You had bikini bottoms on. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. The veteran that called you, I'm a veteran. And 101st Airborne medic. I was a medic.
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about black men going to the doctor and whatnot. One day, I will talk to you about how fraudulent the medical community is. And the reason women bring life into the world, and that's one of the reasons, the biggest reasons they have a connection with the medical community. But you were talking about getting your blood pressure checked. I check mine twice a day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And the aunt that died at 106, I inherited her blood pressure, although I have one machine for myself. So, and I once told you that they said over the radio that 90% of what people go to the doctor for could be, eliminated, just for a change, a lifestyle change.
Mm.
And it's about what you eat, what you drink, and what you do. And now I don't have a what do you call it? A resident physician. So, and I'm in pretty good shape. And I keep telling you, I got to thinking today, in 2 years, I'll be 90 years old if I live. So it's about what you eat and what you drink and all of that. And you will not need to be bothered with a doctor, which is going to misdiagnose you, diagnose you. And I have a cousin that she's a pharmacist. And she can tell you, during the pandemic, a lot of that stuff, they don't tell you. A lot of people died because they got the shot. So anyway, I'm not high on the medical field, the medical community. So, and one day I'll talk to you about it. But I heard George, and I'm trying to get him a spot at Laugh-In and in Hollywood. So, but he's got to have an agent, and we'll work on that. But anyway, yesterday we had the apartment owners. Real estate is that's all I know. We had an apartment owners association yesterday convention, a second one since the pandemic. And what I do is I put roofs over people's heads. And it was a good meeting. And I talked to a couple there were attorneys there, and you name it. It was in Long Beach. And one of the attorneys that I had some conversation with years ago, he forgot who I was. So I said, "You're Jewish?" He said, "Yes." So I named a few people that I know. So he said, "Do you think because I'm Jewish that I know all these Jewish people?" And he named a black that he said, "Now you black, and do you know so-and-so?" Which I didn't know. But anyway, life is good, and your show is all that. What can I say? It is so good. So I'm just sitting here in the Jeep listening to you and your callers. So I just wanted to say to the veteran that most of your well-being is based on what you eat, what you drink, and what your lifestyle is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I
my mind is
that.
going. My mind is going and coming, and I see you out of time, and I appreciate you. What can I say? More than I can tell you.
Well, I got a surprise for you. I don't know if you heard this. Next Tuesday.
Say that again?
Next Tuesday.
Right.
One of the CBS National reporters is going to do the show with me, talking to people that are just remembering Hurricane Katrina, because she wants to hear some of folks' some of their stories that they could tell. So she's going to be in studio with me to do the show all day on Tuesday. Her name is Katie Weiss. And if you tune in to Gail King as they get ready to do the news on the what is that, CBS Mornings? That is the young lady that does all the different news stories for the Southern region. So she'll be here doing the show on Tuesday afternoon.
Super. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know who's coming with her, but I know that she's going to be here. She did the story on several different things on CBS that's happening in New Orleans, especially after the jailbreak. She did that story. She did a couple of other stories about, the coastal erosion. I think she's getting ready to try to do the show about this young man that we have missing. The young man that seems to be missing and been gone for over a week. So I think that she's getting ready to do that story. And I know that she's going to be talking to some other folks about Hurricane Katrina. So she may be doing that Tuesday.
What's your name again?
Her name is Katie Weiss.
Katie Weiss. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll listen in on that.
Okay. Good enough.
But anyway, life is good.
Yes, sir.
And say that again.
I said yes, sir.
Yes. So we get one day at a time. Elon, or whatever his name is, the so-called rich man, he only gets one day. So I could say more. We all urinate and defecate the same. So have a good evening, and I'll talk to you when you feel better.
You too. I hope you feel better too. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Did I miss something? I think I missed something. He said we all defecate and urinate the same?
He did.
Okay.
Let's go to break, bro.
Yeah, let's go to break on that one. that was surprising, Mr. Harold. Did you go there? He told me he did. Just leave it. Just go play music.
Music ran out, bro.
It ran out?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got to go.
We couldn't hear it. All right. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Prosecutors say the case is not about romance and sex. The evidence, photographs and text messages that they say prove a willful conspiracy to hide the relationship. Cantrell now faces 11 counts of fraud, conspiracy, and obstruction related to the time that she and police bodyguard Jeffrey Vappy spent together using taxpayer dollars to fund their travel and official city clock time when they were actually sharing personal activities. In the end, though, it all boils down to how this will play out before a jury. Which scenario are jurors likely to believe? The verdict must be unanimous. Is it criminal conduct or just a case about sex? This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mike. Got unpaid parking or camera tickets in New Orleans? Here's some good news. Through August 31st, you can take care of them without paying late fees. That's money back in your pocket. Just go to NOLA.gov/no late fees to see what you owe. You can pay all at once or sign up for a payment plan and break it into monthly payments at no extra cost. That's NOLA.gov/no late fees. NOLA.gov/no late fees. Don't miss out. This offer ends August 31st.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Talk That. NOLA Education is all about awareness. Join Dr. Jakil Ross from New Schools for New Orleans as he chats with Dana Peterson and Dr. Fatima Fulmore about the next 20 years ahead in public education. Tune in for Talk That this Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
All right, folks. Welcome back. I got this text, and one of the things I did know is that when this young boy was missing out in New Orleans East, I don't know what's going on with the assault on Oliver Thomas. Oliver Thomas was one of the first people that let everybody know that this young boy was missing. And that's not because I'm telling you because he's running for office, but I do remember him having the conversation about this young boy, and that was pivotal to bring up because I understand there's some criticism that's coming through from folks that's saying, where Oliver Thomas at? Where Oliver Thomas at? He was out there on the streets looking, helping. So I do know that's, and I don't know what's up with these folks, these social media folks that are just trying to take him down. Can we just have a race and talk about other stuff too that was done? Now that part I probably do sound like I'm being biased, but I know he's not sitting there not doing nothing. And I hope that, they understand too that the sheriff was also out there making sure, as a matter of fact, if you take a look at where all the camera shots are, look where they're standing. Where they're standing, G, underneath the sheriff's tents so that they're not getting burnt up by the sun out there looking. I just don't understand what's going on with these social media folks. Maybe I need to ask the question. Maybe I need to ask them, what's going on? Because criticism that's being driven now, I think it's worthless. I think it's worthless. So tents are out there. You got city resources. Thank you, Les. You got all these different things out there. You got all the folks for the Cajun Navy out there. I don't think anybody wants nothing to happen to that young boy. Are they going to find him? I hope they do find him well. I hope they find him at least with, his life. Because right now it's pretty scary. So I'm just saying. All right. That's going to wrap things up for me. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the conversation. We'll see you on tomorrow. Coming up, it looks like we got, Mr. Falco And Mr. Leger is in there? All right. We'll see you tomorrow, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the day.
WBOK online at WBOK1230.com.